All right, so we're using our tin of food for class today. Pretty much, it's mostly abs focused, a little bit of glutes as always, and then we'll finish with some balance work. So just one tin, doesn't really matter what it weighs, we're just using it as a little prop. So you can lay down on your back, and I'll get you to place the tin between your knees. And I like the tin because it kind of like your knee joints kind of sit in the little rings of it, which is quite nice. Holds it nice and still. And then let's just start with a little twist to stretch. So arms are wide, palms face the ceiling. And then we're going to rock our knees to the right, and you'll feel as soon as you start to rock that your left foot lifts off the floor, and then bring that right knee towards the floor, but don't let your left shoulder lift. Come back to the middle, pop your left foot down, lift the right foot and rock to the left without letting the right shoulder lift. Back to the middle, we'll go again, pop the right foot down, tip to the right, left foot lifts, and then back to the middle, tip to the left and let the right foot lift. Come back through the center and now bring your knees towards your chest, and then we'll go again, rock to the right. Don't let that left arm lift. Feel your right knee come all the way over to the floor if it can. And then use your stomach muscles a little bit here to bring your legs over to the middle, off to the left, and don't let that right shoulder lift. Good, and we'll go one more time to each side here. Over to the right. Let that right knee come down to the ground. Feel your chest opening on the left side. And then up through the middle, over to the left, and keep your right shoulder down. Come back through the center and pop your feet down. You can readjust your tin if you need to. And then we'll have our feet about just where we can touch them with our fingertips. So fairly close to your buttock. We're going into a bridge. Let's turn the palms to face upwards. Tuck your bottom in, feel your lower back flatten against the floor. Push through your heels, squeezing through your buttock muscles. And when you come to the top of your bridge, just take a moment to check that your ribs are sinking down towards your hips, so you're not flaring through your chest. All the effort is in your legs here, not your back. Pause at the top and then roll back down. We're coming bone by bone, all the way back through the ribs, the lower back, and then the tailbone. If that's too tight on your knees, you can put your feet further away, but the further out your legs go, the more likely you are to feel your hamstrings work. And we really want to work into our glute muscles here. Inhale at the top and then exhale, roll down. We're going to do that 3 more times, just rolling through. Tuck the bottom in, pull the pubic bone towards the belly button. Press through the heels, squeeze the glutes. Check the ribs aren't flaring, and then roll back down. And at the moment, we're just holding onto that tin, so you'll feel your inner thighs do a little bit, but not a whole lot here. Inhale at the top, and then exhale, roll down, and then we'll roll up 1 more time. Press through the heels, tuck your bottom in, roll up and hold it at the top. Now get your little look down towards your knees now. So chuck the chin down, lengthen the back of the neck. Have a look where your hips are and where your knees are. We're going to keep our knees nice and level. Keep the left hip where it is. Just lower the right hip down a bit. So your pelvis will drop down on that right side, and then squeeze your right butt to lift it back up. Just the right, halfway down, and then squeeze it back up. So left leg doesn't move at all here. The left leg stay nice and strong. And it's that right hip that's just dipping down a little and then squeezing back up. Let's go for another 5. So you should feel that your left leg is really working here to keep everything stable. Again, check that you're using your stomach muscles a little bit as well as your glutes here. And 2. 1 more, hold it at the top. And let's do the other side. So keep the right leg nice and still. Lower the left hip down a little bit and up. It's kind of like the left side of your pelvis just untucks and then tucks back up. We untuck and then we tuck back up. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. And this time that right hip is working nice and hard to keep everything stable. Have a look down. Check that your knee isn't dropping as your hip drops. And this can take a few goes to get it right. It's a bit of a funny movement. 1 more, hold it at the top, and then let's alternate. Right hip, lift, left hip, lift. Good. 4 more for each side. Good, keep going. 3. Really dig down through your heels. Keep your feet flat on the floor, but feel that your heel is where you're pressing from. 2. 1 more for each side and then we'll roll down. Good. Start at the back of your ribs, then your lower back, and then come all the way down flat. Well done. Have a moment there, and then let's roll up again. Tuck the bottom in, press the lower back into the floor, squeeze through your glutes and lift. Right, so we've warmed up those glutes. Now, squeeze through your left buttock. Try not to move your pelvis at all. We're going to lift that right leg and straighten it out, and then pop it down. And then swap, lift the left leg, straighten it out, and then pop it down. And keep alternating here. So as we shift that weight over onto one side, we want to try and feel that same recruitment through the back of the leg to help keep the pelvis square. Let's go for another 2 on each side. This is why I like the tin. It's kind of like a wheel in between your legs, and it allows you to pivot as opposed to the pillow that we've tried in the past. And then we'll roll down. Well done. Readjust your chin if you need to, and then let's roll up one last time. Press through the heels, tuck the pelvis under, lift up, ribs are in, hips are in. Let's straighten that right leg out, and then lower the hips halfway down. Squeeze all the way up. We've got 5, 4, 3. Try and be light through your arms. 2, 1. Pop the right foot down. Lift the left foot up, and let's go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Left foot down and roll all the way down. Well done. All right, readjust your chin if needed. Keeping it between your knees. Hands are by your sides still. Find that neutral spine to your pelvis now. We're moving on to some core work. So there should be a little bit of space under your lower back, just enough to fit a blueberry. And then let's engage through the pelvic floor and the lower abdominal muscles. And when you're ready, float both feet to tabletop. So we're going to have our toes pointed. We've got our knees at 90 degrees. That doesn't change. So the movement here is going to come from the hips. As you exhale, tap your toes to the floor and then inhale, lift them back up. So exhale, toes tap down, knees stay at 90. So it's not like the knees are just bending down. The feet are reaching away from you a little bit. You can imagine there's like a skewer through your hips, and that's your hinge point. So we're going to tap the floor twice with the toes. So we'll tap toes and toes, and then we're going to switch to heels. So let's pull the toes back and tap heels twice. Heels. Go back to toes. 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 Very good. Flex the feet. Heels. Heels. Good. If you want to pop your hands on your lower stomach here, you can. That'll just help to give you that feedback as to how well you're engaging your abdominal muscles. Because if you feel your belly popping upwards, you're probably losing that control. And the other thing to watch for here is that your lower back isn't arching. Let's go one more set for the heels. Tap and tap. Come to tabletop and hold. So you're going to take that tin away, pop your feet down. Press your tin against your opposite knee. So we're going to have the tin in the right hand, pressing against the left thigh, and put the left hand behind your head. Press your knee towards your hand and push your hand away. So you're creating a little bit of pressure between that hand and that knee. And then what we're going to do is bring the right leg to tabletop. Very good. And then we're going to curl forward. So we've got pressure between the left knee and the right hand. Both legs are at tabletop, and we're breathing out to stretch the right leg long. Exhale, stretch it out. Inhale, bring it in. Exhale, stretch. Inhale, return. Keep your head heavy in your hand. And let's breathe out as we go long, and breathe in as we come back. Still got that little blueberry under your lower back, so you're not flattening through your lower spine. You're just neutral. You'll feel that your tailbone is the heavier part of your pelvis there. Good. And one more, straighten your leg, keep it straight, wave it up to the ceiling. Keep that pressure between your left knee and your right palm. This is just helping to engage your oblique abdominals. Let's go for 8. Exhale on the way down. Inhale on the way up. 7 more here. Keep your right leg really straight. Really use your thigh muscles to keep it straight. 5. Good. 4, maybe lift a little higher if you need to. 3, 2, and 1 more. Bring that leg back to tabletop and pop your feet down. Well done. We're going to swap straight to the other side. So bring your right knee to tabletop. Press the tin with your left hand. Put your right hand behind your head. Press between that right thigh and that left hand and bring your left leg to tabletop. Let's curl forwards and stretch the left leg out and in. Exhale, go long. Inhale to come back. We've got another 8 here. Practice really straightening the leg. Think of reaching your toes away from you. So your leg goes long. Not too low, whatever depth you can manage, as long as you've got your neutral spine. Let's go 4, 3, keep that head heavy in your hand. Try not to strain through your neck. 1 more, stretch it out, keep it long. Let's wave that left leg up to the ceiling and back towards the floor. That's it, inhale, lift. I can hear someone's not on mute. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower and keep pressing that knee towards the palm. Inhale, 5, good. 4, should be feeling the tummy muscles. 3, 2, and 1 more. Bring that leg back to tabletop, pop your feet down, hold the tin in your hands. Raise your tin towards the ceiling, palms are open, shoulder blades are resting on the floor. Let's go back to tabletop, holding here. We'll start by lowering the arms overhead, stretching the leg away, and then back to the middle, and then alternate your legs. So this is your first option. If you want to add the chest lift, that's where we'll go next. So as your arms lift up, you reach the tin over your knees. And then we stretch out, leg goes long, arms go over the knees, we lift the chest. If you want to keep your head down, that's fine. You'll just focus on your lower abdominals, but this version will be using our upper and lower. Let's keep those shoulders resting on the floor as the arms go overhead. Try not to shrug them up too much towards your ears. And make sure that when you're doing your chest lift, you're starting the movement at your rib cage. So the ribs sink down and the head, neck, and shoulders follow along. Let's go for 6. And lift. 5. Good. And remember, we're reaching the legs long, really stretching the knee out. 3. Last 2. Good. 1 more time. Stretch it out. Curl forward, reach those hands above the legs, and let's do our little pulses, pressing the fingertips towards the ceiling. Let's go for 8, 7, sliding the ribs towards the hips. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Well done. Gently rock your legs side to side there. Good. All right, so we're going to give our abdominals a little break right now. And we're going to come into a 4-point kneeling position and focus on our quads. We don't focus too much on our quads usually, but today there's a few exercises. Sorry, Nat, after all your squats. So pop your tin on your lower back, right on the top of your sacrum or your pelvis. Make sure it's in the middle. And it may fall off, so excuse me if mine drops. And then make sure your hands are directly under your shoulders and your knees are directly under your hips. All right, we're going to curl the toes under so that your toes are flat against the floor. Just press through your palms, lift your chest away from the ground, and then lower your chest down towards the floor, keeping the elbows straight, and then press your chest back up away from the ground. We'll do that 3 more times. I want you to get the feeling of moving your upper half without moving your lower half, because then we're going to try and move our lower half without moving our upper half. 1 more time, sink down, press the chest away from the ground, and feel that your shoulder blades are broad through your back. So the shoulder blades are wide, your chest is lifting from the ground. Press your palms firmly into the ground, and then we just hover the knees off the floor. We're going to exhale, hover, inhale, hold, exhale, lower. And again, let's exhale, hover, inhale, hold, and exhale, lower. We'll keep going. So through your stomach muscles now, I want you to feel that connection between the ribs and the hips. So although we're not actually bringing the ribs towards the hips like we were with our chest lifts before, we're still going to feel that there's that connection between the muscles that run through the front there. So think pubic bone to belly button, a little bit of pelvic floor here will help kick those lower abdominals in. But then we really want the whole abdominal wall working as well. So let's lift this time and we'll go into some little taps. Hover the knees, hold a moment, and now let's tap down and up. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, nice and strong through your arms, 2, 1, and rest. Hopefully you started to feel your quads working with that one. That's your stage 1. You can revert back to that if you like, but what we're going to try next is stretching our legs out. So keeping that tin where it is, let's hover the knees, hold a moment, straighten your right leg and place your toes on the floor behind you. Good, bring that leg back in. Straighten the left leg, place your toes on the floor behind you, bend it back in, and then rest. Well done. That's your level 2. If you want to try level 3, I'm not even sure if I'm going to do level 3 today. We would be stretching the leg out, but not putting the toes down. Let's have a go. So we'll hover and we'll stretch and back, left and back and lower. Whichever level you want to do, we're going to add 1 on each time. So this time we'll go for 2. Let's go right, left, and then again, right and left and lower. Now we'll do 3. 5 is going to be our last one. It's going to be a long one. Let's hover, go for 3. Good. Try not to lift your bum up and up. You want to keep it as low as you can. And 1 more for each side. Strong shoulders. Good. And then knees down. Ooh. All right, let's go to 4. Hover those knees. Hold nice and tight. Tummy is on. Thighs are on. That's 4. 3. And really squeeze your butt of the leg that's stretching. 2. Hopefully everyone's still got their tin. 1 more. And hopefully we're not lifting up too high. And then knees down. Okay, we've got 1 more round. Let's get the shoulders ready. 5 for each leg, or probably 10 little knee taps, whichever level you wanted to go from. So let's hover and hold and go for 5. Good. 4. 3. Try not to rush it. Nice and slow and steady. 2. Last one for each side. 1. Good. And rest the knees down. Take the tin off. Come into child's pose. Sit back on your heels. Reach your arms long and let your forehead rest on the ground. Walk your hands over to the left. Feel that right shoulder area stretching. Take a couple of breaths here. And then walk your hands to the right and feel that left shoulder area stretching. Good. Come back through the middle. Come onto your knees and grab your tin. So we're not quite done with our quads yet. We've got 2 more exercises to go. I get you to hold your tin in both hands. Flat palms again, like when we were on our back before, and come up to kneeling. Keep your body really straight here. Shoulders stay directly above the knees. Think of tucking the pelvis in a little bit so that the stomach muscles and the buttock muscles are active. Reach your hands out in front of you. We haven't done this one since the very beginning, I don't think. So let's keep the body straight, lean back, and then sit forward again. Let's go lean it back. Feel the quads engage and then sit forward. This is an eccentric quad exercise. So your quads are actually switching on as they lengthen It's a good one, but it's hard. Let's go for another 5 here. And then we'll change it up a bit. 4. Try and have a sort of distinct pause when you're back. And then sit forward. 2 more. 2. Very good. 1 more. Lean back. Sit forward and now sit down onto your heels. Still keep the shoulders above your hips. Still connect the ribs to the hips. This time we'll press forwards, we'll sit tall, and then we'll sit back down. Good. The slower you go on the way down, the better. Let's sit up, hold, and slowly come back down. Sit up, hold, slowly back down. Well done. We're going to add some arms in. So let's hold the tin sideways. Sit down, and then as you sit up, you're going to open wide. And then sit down and swap hands. Open wide and then sit down. Good. Keep alternating here. Open and sit. Try not to lean forward. So your body will want to stick your bottom out. You stay nice and upright, and that's going to challenge you even more. Let's go up and down. We'll go for another 3 and down. Good. 2. 1 more. Up, bring the hands to the middle, sit halfway down to your heels, holding here just for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Well done. All right, come forward, step your left foot out in front of you, tuck your pelvis in, let's stretch out through the front of the thigh. You can lean forward a little bit if you need. Find that stretch and then reach the right arm up overhead. Really stretch upwards as if you're trying to touch the ceiling, and then over towards the left a little bit and hold here. Good. 1 more breath there. Come upright. Tuck the pelvis in and then sit back and stretch out through the back of that left hamstring, and we'll do that about 3 times. Just sitting back and forth. And 1 more. Good. Swap it over. Left knee goes back. Right foot comes forward. Come up tall. Tuck the pelvis under. Find that stretch. Reach your left hand up to the ceiling. Try and touch the roof. And then tip over to the right a little and hold there for a few breaths. Catching our breath. Good. Come out of that stretch. Tuck it in and then sit back. Feel the back of the right leg stretch and forward. Sit back and forward. 1 more time. Good. Come back onto your knees. No tin this time. Place your hands back on the floor. Step your right leg back. Keep tucking the pelvis in. Step your left leg back. Lower the hips, find your plank. Holding here. Just find everything in neutral. Remember, you're pressing the ground away through your palms. The chest isn't sagging. We've got nice straight elbows. We're going to bring our right knee towards our right elbow. Touch it if you can, and then step back. Left knee to left elbow, and then back. Let's go right knee to left elbow, and back. And left knee to right elbow, and back. So you've really got to pull in. Right knee, right elbow, and back. Left knee, left elbow, and back. Right knee, left elbow, get that twist through your hips, and back. Left knee, right elbow, and back. 1 more round, right to right, left to left. Right to left, that's it. Left to right, and back, and then press up. Downward dog, pedal the legs out, give them a good stretch, because we're going back into legs next. Give the ankles a good stretch. Our next exercise is it's usually used for a balance training. We're going to use it just for a bit of everything today, but definitely after ankle or knee injuries, we use it a lot to retrain that balance. So bend both of your knees, stretch your chest, and then walk your feet towards your hands and grab your tin. Stand up. Now, first of all, I'll probably do a demo so you can see what we're doing, and then we can run through it together. So We balance on one leg. Let's start on our left leg. We'll just hold the tin at our chest to start with and bring the right knee up in front of you. You can come along with me if you want. Bend through the left leg. Tap your right foot in front of you as far as you can. Stand back up, bring the right leg up. Bend through the left leg again, tapping the right toes back behind you as far as you can. And then stand back up. Now we go to the right. So we bend the left leg, tap the right leg out to the right as far as you can. And then stand up. And then bend through the left leg and tap your right leg towards the left of you as far as you can. And then stand back up. All right, let's go. So right leg goes to the front and then lifts up. Right leg goes back behind and then lifts up. Right leg to the right, and back, and then right leg to the left. So if you imagine you're standing in a square, it's like you're tapping each different edge of the square. Let's add our arms in now. So we're going to sink our arms back behind as we tap forward. We're going to come up. We're going to reach our arms out in front as we tap back, lift up. Hold it in your left hand as you open to the right. Hold it in your right hand as you tap back to the left. Okay, we've got 3 more rounds on this leg. Let's try and sink a little deeper. Let's go back behind as we tap forward and up. Out in front, as far back as you can. Hold it in the left hand as we tap to the right. Hold it in the right hand as we tap to the left. Back through the middle, 2 more rounds. Back behind as we go forward. Out in front as we go back. Try and really press through your left heel here as you push yourself back upright. That will help you use your glutes a bit better. Is this the last round or second last? I can't remember now. And forwards. We'll do one more just for luck. Left arm as we tap right. Right arm as we tap left. Let's go one more time. Back behind to tap forwards. Out in front to tap backwards. Out to the left to tap to the right. And then out to the right to tap to the left. Pop your foot down and give your legs a little shake. Well done. Really good, really good. Let's swap legs. So stand on the right leg. Bring your left knee up in front of you. Find your balance. Got a very uneven floor here. And let's have a go at tapping our left leg forwards and backwards. Good. Out to the left side and then out to the right side. And make sure you're coming up in between each one. To the front, to the back. With your right knee, so with the leg that's on the ground, we want to try and keep that right knee tracking over the toes, over the middle of the foot. So your second and third toes, not your big toe, and definitely not coming inwards over the arch of your foot. Press through the heel so you get to engage your glute muscles that we've definitely warmed up in our bridges today. Other side. Whoop. And front. Good. Back. Tap as far as you can. The whole idea is to go a little bit further each time. And you can use that little visual cue of a puddle on the ground that you're just so lightly dipping your toes into. So no weight goes onto the tapping foot. Left. I think we might do 2 more rounds. Counting is obviously not my forte. Tap. And tap. Tap. And tap. And let's go one more time. Out in front. Whoop. Out behind. Out to the left. And out to the right. Good. Pop that foot down. Give your legs a really good shake. Just keep hold of your chin. Let's roll forwards. Bring the chin to the chest. Round the spine. Roll all the way down. When you get to the floor, just bend in and out of your legs. Feeling that nice stretch. Pop your chin down. Bend into the left knee. Reach the right hand to the ceiling. Open up the chest. Come down to the floor. Straighten the left leg. Open the left hand to the ceiling. Open the chest. Good, back to the middle. One more to each side. Good, middle, other side. Come down, and then let's roll all the way down to sitting and hold our tins one last time. All right, sitting, feet on the floor, hands out in front. Again, we've got our open palm grip holding onto our tin. This is the last little bit of class, I promise. We're going to do some roll downs. So holding the tin, let's start sitting up on our sit bones. Feel the weight sort of resting on those sit bones. Tuck your bottom under. Feel your weight roll back towards your tailbone. And then we're going to roll about halfway down, just as far as you feel comfortable. If it's sore on your tailbone, just stop at a point that's comfortable. And then let's pulse for 3, 2, 1, and sit up. All the way onto those sit bones. And again, roll it back. Pulse for 3, 2, 1, and sit all the way back up. Good. So when you're in your roll down, you want to feel that your ribs and hips are really drawing towards each other. Depends on the flexibility of your spine, but the idea is to visualize that your back is round. It's really scooping around like the shape of a C, the letter C. Exhale, roll down and pulse. 3, 2, 1, roll up. All right, let's roll down. Hold. Rotate your hands towards your right hand side and pulse here for 3, 2, 1. Over to the left, hold here. 3, 2, 1. Middle, 3, 2, 1, and sit up. Let's do that again. This time we've got 5 pulses. Tuck it in, roll it back. Over to the right for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Over to the left for 5. Think right rib to left hip here. 2, 1. Middle for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Roll up. One more round. We've got 10 in each position. Let's roll it back over to the right for 10, 9. Reach those fingers. Sink the ribs in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. To the left. 10, 9. Good. Really pull the tummy in. Check your knees haven't moved. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And middle, last round. 10. Pull through here. 8. Try and relax through the legs. Make it all about the stomach. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sit all the way up. Very good. Pop that tin down. We are done with the tin. Lie down on your stomach. Press through your palms and arch your back. Let's just get into some extension after doing all of that flexion. Really squeeze the shoulder blades together and look forward and lift your chest away from the ground. So it's not a saggy position. It's a really elongated, lengthened position. Lower back down again, keeping the elbows tight by your side. Press through your palms, push the ground away, keep the shoulder blades squeezing. Imagine you've got a really big, blingy necklace on and you're shining it forwards away from you so that you get some extension through your chest. Lift and lower. Let's go one more time. Press through the palms, lift the chest, squeeze the shoulder blades. Good. Holding here. Take a big breath in and out and lower down. Once you get down to the floor, grab the back of your right leg, the front of your right leg, and hold. Just pull your foot towards your chest. Feel a bit of a stretch through the front of that thigh after we've just worked it. Let it go. Left. Give that a stretch, and then we're going to come up onto our knees for one last stretch. Good. Press through your arms, come to kneeling. We will have our toes curled and we're sitting on our heels. From here, take your right hand to your right heel. Try not to let your heel go, all right? That will depend again on your flexibility. Lift your hips, reach your left hand to the ceiling and stretch out through the front of your body. We've done lots of flexing today, so we want to open up and really get some stretch into the front of our body. Sit back down and swap. Left hand to the left heel, right hand to the ceiling, open the chest, feel that sort of stretching down around the armpit, and hopefully a little bit through the front of your hips as well. One more to each side, and then we're going to try with both hands. Really tuck the bottom in and push the hips forward, kind of like that feeling you get when you're at the top of your bridge. Except this time we're really arching our backs, and down and up to the left hand side, reaching the right hand to the ceiling. Find that stretch. Come back down. This is a little bit harder. I struggle a bit with this one. See if you can keep both fingers on the heels and lift through your hips and really open through your chest. Good, feel that stretch through both sides. Come down and we'll go one more time. Lifting up, open the chest, press the hips forward, look to the ceiling. Find a nice opening there through each side of your chest. And then come all the way down. Stand up for one last roll down and then we're finished. Chin to chest, we'll roll forwards. Let the fingers drop towards the floor and just hold there. Close your eyes if you like. It's kind of nice to just hang. I'm still catching my breath. And then we'll just bend in and out of those knees. Just feeling a nice stretch through the backs of the legs. Soften through both legs. Switch on your pelvic floor. Switch on your leg muscles. Squeeze through your glutes. Push your heels down through the ground. Imagine that you're pressing the ground away. And then roll all the way up to standing. Roll your shoulders. And you're all finished. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed the class.